Alrighty, boys. One word to describe every NBA team. Before I get into this, I do want to say we're going to try for the rest of the season to have one video or one stream a week. All right, one long form piece of content. If you guys like that idea, let me know down in the comments, and also make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. This was just posted, I want to say today when I'm recording this. It is one word to describe every NBA team right now. The first one is the Atlanta Hawks, and that is shrewd. I think that's how you pronounce that word. I'm not really sure. The Hawks obviously restructured on Jalen Johnson. That was a no-brainer. But they've also connected with less obvious wagers. The $62 million investment in Nick Hill, Alexander Walker, is already paying for itself. I agree with that. He's been amazing. I mean, I don't know. He's already basically outplayed that contract they gave him, and he's only been there for 1 year. Just fantastic. CJ McCollum, obviously, that was a big trade piece in the Trae Young deal. He has helped them hugely. Corey Kispert has scratched an itch for outside shooting. I would agree with that as well, watching the Hawks. And then turning Kristaps Porzingis into Jonathan Kuminga salary filler, as they called it. Buddy Hield could be just huge win. Kuminga cannot stop dunking. He's playing absolutely out of his mind right now. This is the best he's played in years. The Golden State was just horrible. It just horrible. First three outings, 21.3 points. I don't know when this was written. I think he played tonight when I'm recording this, so the average might be higher or lower, but he is playing absolutely incredible. The Hawks continue just to do amazing things. They also have this New Orleans pick that's unprotected in this year's draft. And the Pelicans are awful, so they probably will get a top 5 pick this year as well. The Boston Celtics. My Boston Celtics. I mean, I think I said it in my 82 games later series. If you haven't already checked it out, go check it out. I thought they were going to be a 10 seed. And I doubted them. I highly doubted Jaylen Brown. I learned now that Jaylen Brown is an MVP candidate when Jason Tatum is not out there. He is a perfectly viable 1A. I mean, just an absolutely amazing campaign. Joe Mazzulla should be coach of the year. They traded. I'll just list all the guys they traded, by the way. I'm just going to boast about my Celtics here for a second. We traded Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis. We lost Al Horford. We lost Luke Cornett. And we lost Jason Tatum to a torn Achilles, who should be coming back on Friday. If he is, we'll stream that game live. But yeah, they're just absolutely... Joe Mazzulla is a coaching genius. Jaylen Brown looks like an MVP. The things that they've gotten out of rookie Hugo Gonzalez is just incredible. I don't know what else you could ask for. It just overall amazing. I could spend 30 minutes on the Celtics, but I won't. The Brooklyn Nets, optimistic. I'm going to be honest, I have not watched the Nets since the beginning of the year. Whenever they play my Celtics, I have the game on, obviously, and I'll watch. They're an interesting team. I low-key think right now they won the Cameron Johnson chain. Michael Porter Jr. has been unbelievable. He, as a number one option, he's not a number one option, but as a 2 option, he can shoot the living piss out of the ball. And I think we already knew that, but his just ability to run off the screen and just shoot the ball. He's 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, Igor Demons outside shooting's way ahead of schedule. I would agree with that. Danny Wolf packed all of his versatility into 23.5 assists, 3 triple outbursts. I mean, that doesn't even versatility into a 23, 5 assists, 3 triple out. Okay, that makes sense. 3 threes. Okay, that weird way to say that. Dwight Powell shooting is a mess. Tone setting. I mean, the Nets have some things to do. Luckily for us, they own their pick. They're one of the worst teams in the East. So hopefully they'll get a top 2 pick, and I like them pairing either not VJ. I don't know why I almost said VJ, but one of the guys at the top of that draft. I don't know why I'm blanking on names. I'm not a big draft guy, but one of the top 3 guys in that draft would be amazing for them. The next one, the Charlotte Hornets. Eye-opening. This is interesting to me. So the Hornets are great. I mean, I'm just reading this. They're tied for first, a quarter of the campaign. Essentially, they've been excellent as anyone. Tied for first in winning percentage, 78.9. 78.9 70 point now, whatever. Second overall, plus 11 during this run. They've reeled off 15 wins and stumbles in being single-digit losses. Pistons, Rockets, Cavs twice. You live, right? Colin Knippel is probably the rookie of the year. We'll see what Cooper Flagg does, but he's actually contributing to winning. And, like, in my opinion, that is something huge for rookie of the year. Like, you can put up numbers, right? But if your team is not winning and making the playoffs, then there's no point in that. I don't really know where Dallas sits in the standings. I want to say they're just outside of the play-in. But the Hornets are firmly in a play-in spot right now. And honestly, I hope they get out of the play-in. And I hope they're like a top 6 seed. Because this team is so fun to watch. I mean, LaMelo Ball is playing great. His defense is actually good. Wow, imagine that. When you put him in a winning situation, he plays really well. They're amazing. Charles Lee has done an amazing job. Just fantastic. The Bulls, Tardy. Yeah, they took it forever to pull the plug. They finally did, and they pulled off some horrible, mediocre trades. And they have 15 million guards on their roster. And they have the 9th best odds in a crowding, tanking field. So they're once again probably going to be like the 10th or 9th, 10th or 11th pick. And just continue to do that for the rest of eternity, because that's all they've done since Michael Jordan and Derrick Rose have left. Derrick Rose obviously leaving later than Michael Jordan, before people get on me in the comments. Next team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs obviously traded for James Harden. They were one of the most aggressive teams, flipping Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter, and Lonzo Ball for James Harden, Keon Ellis, and Dennis Schroeder. Sadly, I think Lonzo Ball was either waived or they're saying he might never play in the NBA again because of his medical issues, as this phone is yelling at me. So much fun. And, you know, getting James Harden literally saved their season and probably Kenny Atkinson's job, in my opinion. Is that who coaches them? That might be wrong. That might be the Atlanta coach. I don't know. I'm horrible with names of coaches. So, I mean, Cleveland's biggest tester to come. I mean, obviously, they're 7-3 with a plus 6.9 net rating. Was that a minus? Oh, that's a plus. Okay. Since the trade deadline, obviously Harden fractured his thumb, so we all have to worry about that. But they are looking like the Cavs of last year, in my opinion. Just looking amazing, and I think that trade saved a lot of people's jobs in just the Cavs, and it probably saved them having Donovan Mitchell out this offseason. Dallas Mavericks undermanned. I mean, they're just injured. I don't really know what else to say. They traded Anthony Davis for nothing. I'm glad they got more first round picks for him than they did get for Luka, but they're awful. Nico Harrison was fired this season, obviously. They have a 2026 first round pick, and the last one they were controlling until 2031. So it's all bad for Dallas. You have this guy though. I don't know if this guy and Cooper Flagg. So you have your face of the franchise. Your hope is that you suck enough at the end of this year and you can get a top 3 pick this year and get a 2A, like a Jaylen Brown type of guy. No disrespect for Jaylen Brown, but you need like a 1B to Cooper Flagg now. You're gonna have Kyrie back next season as long as he doesn't get traded. So yeah, and they just got to get rid of this injury bug. They have probably the worst injury luck. They have like the injury luck of the Pelicans last year. Just horrible. It's awful. The Denver Nuggets, who honestly I'm worried about. They've been banged up all year. They have the number 2 offense, and that's cool. But this team cannot defend for the life of them. Aaron Gordon has been banged up. I mean, 4-8 since the start of February. Nagging injury for the 3-time MVP in his wrist. I mean, just all this stuff. Peyton Watson's hurt. Just a lot of things. Cameron Johnson can't shoot the basketball. He can't hit the side of a barn. So there's problems for the Denver Nuggets. And I think for them, the biggest thing is in the playoffs, if they can get timely stops, they will be in the conference finals and probably playing against OKC or the Spurs, in my opinion. It's just that they have to get healthy. They have the depth. They have the big now in Jonas Valanciunas, but it's just they have to get healthy, and they have to finish out these last 20 to 25 games healthy and start to build up and peak at the right time for these playoffs. The next team, the Detroit Pistons, who I have disrespected. So it's kind of fitting that the title's disrespected on this. the Pistons have kind of been in the conversation. Are they favorites to win the East? Agree with that, obviously. Lack of postseason experience. The offense is highly reliant on Cade Cunningham. The fact that they have no shooting is a problem to me. When the adventure hasn't prevented the Pistons from posting a 76.3 winning percentage or third highest rating, might become more of a manufacturer concern, but I, like many others, still have trouble picturing championship parade through Detroit this summer. I cannot read. It is like 2 a.m. I like the Pistons. I don't know if they're championship contenders. I'm happy that the city of Detroit has something to root for. They're obviously the number 1 seed in the East, but like I said with OKC last year, and I was wrong, I don't think they have enough shooting. They also, unlike OKC, do not have enough ball handlers. They just don't. They obviously have some guys, but they don't have enough. It's all on Cade. It's Cade or nothing. Like Dennis Jenkins, I think his name is, or Denise Jenkins. I might be botching that, so apologies. It is not a point guard. It's all on Cade. So what teams are going to do is they're just going to deny Cade the ball and make someone else bring it up. Whether that's Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, Duncan Robinson. They just don't have enough ball handling. And they're missing that severely this year. The next one, the Golden State Warriors. I mean, just awful. Just aimless, shameless. Steve Kerr is just yaps. He just says whatever. He basically said on the radio that Kristaps Porzingis has AIDS. They traded for him. They said it wasn't whatever, I forget what it's called now, POTS. Just dumb. Just horrid. There's not even words that I can put in this video to describe how bad the Warriors have been. They traded Jonathan Kuminga. Jimmy Butler's hurt. Kristaps Porzingis can't stay on the floor, even though they said they had a plan and it wasn't going to be a problem there. Horrible. We don't need to talk about the Warriors. The Houston Rockets, inconsistent. And holy moly, are they inconsistent? I mean, just woo! I don't know what they're doing. They're worse with KD for some reason. They have a worse record. Their offense is weird. Their defense is great, but when you can't score on the other end because your floor spacing so bad and Ime Udoka's stuck in his ways and won't play Reed Shepherd as a starter, you're destroyed. And I know recently he's been playing as a starter, but that's because they've been kind of banged up. Jabari's been out. I want to say Sengun missed a game, and someone else I feel like missed a game. Maybe Amen. But they're horrible. They're 2-7 in single score contests. We thought KD was gonna fix that. I know they're missing Freddie, but just horrible. I don't think they're gonna make it out of the first round of the playoffs once again. And I don't really know what this front office is gonna do. Do they trade KD and just go back to this young core and try to develop, or do they feel pressured and trade like a Jabari or a Şengün for Giannis and try to build that way? I would not build the Brooklyn way. I would go back to this young core and see if you can let them develop a little bit more before you go bananas and try to go all in. It's gonna throw off all the hard work you did. The Pacers, waiting. They're horrible. They're gonna hopefully they get a top 5 pick this year. Otherwise, it goes to the Clippers. They have Zubac, obviously. They don't have Tyrese Halliburton. They've been injury riddled all year. I mean, Aaron Nesmith hasn't played. I mean, Andrew Nembhard's missed some games. Siakam's missed some games. It's just you just gotta wait for them. They're just not good without Tyrese Halliburton. That offense doesn't work. I mean, you have TJ, you have the entire core there. You just gotta figure out what you're doing with some pieces. I mean, if Kawhi Leonard's available this offseason, I go after him for them. But yeah, they are just literally waiting. I agree with this perfectly. Transitioning. Perfect. I just talked about Kawhi, and there he is. I would definitely say this team is transitioning. They traded James Harden to the Cavs, and now Zubac is on the Pacers, and Kawhi Leonard could be the next to exit. They obviously got Darius Garland, and it's the end of the era, according to the sideline. I mean, it just makes perfect sense. They are transitioning. Kawhi's probably going to go. They're going to get a bunch of picks and start to do a mini retool around the core. If Darius Garland can stay healthy, I think they would actually be a really good team. They just got to build a team around him. And obviously, they want money in 27 when Jokic and Giannis and all those guys are projected to be free agents. So, makes sense. They are most definitely transitioning. Los Angeles Lakers. frustrated. Holy, I don't even have to read this. That they are, you guys can, but, whoo-wee! The Lakers are just, they don't have an identity. They have no identity. They have Luka Doncic and LeBron James, and that's really it. And Austin Reeves. I forgot about Austin Reeves. He's been hurt a lot, so that's why I didn't say Austin Reeves. But they don't have anything else. These two here don't play a lick of defense. DeAndre Ayton can't stay on the floor because he has no motor, and he's mad about his role like he was in Phoenix, even though he has two of the best guys to create people's shots for him ever. Of all time. He has Luka Doncic and LeBron James, the two best floor generals of all time, and they can't do anything. And don't even get me started on Luka. Luka played the Celtics, and he reverted back to Luka Doncic in the finals in 2024, where he complained about every call. And ever since then, that's all he's been doing. That's all Luka's been doing. It's horrible. And then Austin Reeves has just been in and out of the thing. They played I don't know, something under 300 minutes together. It's bad. The Lakers are awful. JJ Redick will not get fired. They have to give him a full chance, full next year, to really build around Luka without LeBron. And I think you keep AR, but you really have to put some defensive wings. Maybe trade for a Gafford this offseason, because they are bad. And they are just awful. They are a horrible watch. The Memphis Grizzlies. You're definitely confused. I actually don't agree with this one. I think Jaren Jackson's gone, obviously. They signed Taj Gibson to help the culture during the rebuild. I don't know why. He's only on a 1-year deal, so unless they're planning to multi-year sign him, but yeah. I think what happens this offseason is I think they trade Ja. I think they have a very clear direction. I think you have to retool. And I think I wouldn't even call it a rebuild, because I actually genuinely think that this Memphis Grizzlies front office, if they get a top 5 pick this year, they will probably be a play-in team next year. They're just they're really good at finding these guys. Even top 10, they're just really good at finding these guys and developing these big wings to be these ball handlers and defensive players. So I truly do think it is going to be one of the quicker rebuilds or root tools in the NBA. I honestly think they might beat Washington teams in the playoffs. I know that's crazy to say, but Anthony Davis probably won't stay healthy all year next year. So I disagree with the confused part. I think they have a very clear direction, and I think you have to rebuild/retool this roster without John Moran or Jaren Jackson Jr. and build around the young guys that you have currently. The Miami Heat, meh. I mean, this is every year for the Heat, right? They're always just meh. They've been meh since, I don't know, they won a championship with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. They've just been meh. They made it to the finals twice on the back of Jimmy Butler, but other than that, they're just the Heat. They're a slightly tough first round playoff matchup sometimes, and other times they get a gentleman swept in 5 games. So yeah, they're just meh. Pat Riley's an old man. He doesn't know what it takes to win in this current NBA, and he won't trade anything. But if they get Giannis this offseason, who knows what happens. So they're just meh. I agree with this one 1,000,000%. I've only agreed with one, not agreed with one so far. So I agree with this. I disagree with this one. They just got Giannis back last night, but I'm assuming this was written before Giannis played the Celtics. The Bucks, this should be blow it up. Nuke it. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Rebuild. Because you are horrible. Get everything you can for this man. They should have tried to get everything at either this past offseason or at the deadline. Because now he only has 1 year left, so Giannis is all the leverage here. They got to get rid of it. They're horrible. They've been, I don't even know. They've been because they've only been relevant because of Giannis. They don't play defense. Their offense is cool. They have a bunch of guards that don't defend. Cam Thomas has been cool, but I mean, he's Cam Thomas. He doesn't defend. They got absolutely destroyed by the Celtics last night in 2 nights ago when you guys are seeing this, because it'll be Wednesday when you guys see this. So, I mean, just meh. They're awful. They need to blow it up. It's bad. Next one, Minnesota Timberwolves progressing. I agree with this. I'm pretty sure they won tonight. They won the other night when Ant shot over 2 people, and it's interesting because I want to say it was Rudy who said we need people that will pass us the ball or something. So there might be some turmoil there, but they definitely are progressing. They've been in the Western Conference Finals, I think 2 years in a row now, or maybe 3. And maybe it's 3, but they've missed 1 year. I don't know. The consecutive campaign. So I am right. I don't really know. They're 11-4 since January 20. They're actually 13-4 since January 26th. Their Ayo Dosunmu's playing great. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this team. I can't really doubt them because Ant-Man is literally insane, and I would not be shocked if they're back in the conference finals this year. I wouldn't be shocked. I bet they at least make it to the semis, but I don't know. They are progressing. I will say that. They look better as of late. The next one, New Orleans Pelicans. Regretful. This should say idiotic. What is that front office doing? You traded your unprotected pick this year and then refused to move any pieces at the deadline because you believe that you are a championship contending team that should not, something like that. It's just bad. I don't want to go on a rant. It's horrible. It's exactly what I said. New Orleans trudged forward with a team that can't compete, but also is quite bad enough to properly tank. Isn't quite bad enough to properly tank. Just they have Derek Queen and they have what's his name? I forget the guard's name. But yeah, they have those 2 guys. They're happy with them. Jeremiah Fierce. They have Fierce and they have Queen, and that's what they're gonna go with. And they believe that as long as they sign a guy in free agency or draft a guy, they're gonna be championship contenders next year because they're gonna be fully healthy. Complete bullshit. I wouldn't even say this. I would just say idiocracy. Their GM's an idiot. Why does Atlanta have that pick? It's Atlanta and Milwaukee's pick, by the way. It's like a swap. They get the best of that. It's stupid. Atlanta should not have that pick. Don't know why they did that. They stink. The Knicks, closer, I would say inconsistent. Because you have guys that don't know their roles. He basically says the Eastern Conference might not run through the Big Apple, but the Knicks still loom as a massive hurdle. Anyone will have to clear to escape it. I don't know. Again, I agree with Brian Windhorst. I don't know if they'll play their best when it matters, but they have the best roster in my opinion. They're just inconsistent. I mean, you have Karl-Anthony Towns coming to the podium some night saying, I don't know my role. Well, dude, you better know your effing role because we're 60 games into the year and you still don't know your role. It's just interesting. Some nights they play great, like the other night when they played the Spurs after they were on a back. Like when the Spurs were on a back-to-back and they blew them out of the water. In some nights, they just look awful. So, they're 14-4. They're best in basketball by a good margin with a plus 13.8 net rating. I don't know. I feel like the Knicks are inconsistent. But that also could be the Knicks hater in me that I want the Celtics to whoop them every single year. So, I could be slightly biased there. But I feel like the Knicks are super inconsistent. The next one. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Relatively vulnerable. I agree with this. They have Shea, obviously. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren. They can't stay. At least Jalen Williams can't stay healthy. I don't know about Chet. I think Chet's been pretty good as of late, but he didn't play the other night. I mean, Jared McCain, what a steal. I was going to make a video on that. They robbed Philly. Holy moly. Jared McCain looks like the Jared McCain of last year before he got hurt. I think he has like the second most 20-point games off the bench since being traded at the deadline. I mean, he scored 20 tonight. I mean, holy. Yeah, well, yesterday for you guys. Sorry, I'm going to say tonight because when I'm recording this, it's tonight. You know that, though. So, yeah, I don't know. They're hurt, though. They've been banged up all year. Their offense is still immune to cold spells. They're very good. It's hard to, it's like we thought they were going to beat the Golden State record when they started 24-1, but since then they've cooled off. I don't even think they're first in the West anymore. No, they might. It's fairly close. I know that Detroit had or has the best record. They might be tied now, but Detroit had the best record in the NBA when they beat them the other night. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. The Orlando Magic. I wouldn't even say average. I would say disappointing as hell. Oh my god. This team was supposed to, when they paid the steep price for Desmond Bane last summer, the hope was they could at least help this offense find its way to respectability. and it hasn't been that. It's been worse. It's been better, apparently. It feels like it's been worse because they're not winning. I don't know. I don't think Desmond Bain was worth 4 first-round picks, but that's just me. They're 19th in efficiency. Their defense has slipped to 13th. They're not top 10. They're just disappointing. I mean, we have Paulo dissing their head coach. They're throwing shots back and forth in the media. I would not be surprised if Paulo asks out if they don't fire the coach. They've just been disappointing. I don't know. They have to make some changes. They have to make a pretty large change. And I don't think they give up on their roster. I think it's firing the coach. We'll see who obviously gets fired this offseason. But they need to bring in a guy who can really scheme up some stuff offensively for them. Instead of Desmond Bain setting screens for Paulo and rolling to the basket. That's not what we want. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. There's things that have to be figured out because this team is expensive and cannot be a play-in team every year because that's just bad. They also just have to stay healthy. I mean, Franz Wagner hasn't been there all year, so it's one memory is him getting hurt for me. So we'll see about that. The Philadelphia 76ers decelerating. I would say slamming on the brakes. They've been highly encouraging, which I agree with. When they're at full strength, they aren't particularly close to that. Paul George has been suspended because he took PEDs. Joel Embiid is back on the injury report with an oblique strain or something. Tyrese Maxey's cool. He's playing great. But they've lost now 7 of their last 10. They got maybe more now. I don't know when this was posted yesterday. So, they lost to the Celtics, and they just got absolutely mollywopped by the Spurs tonight without Wemby putting up any kind of crazy. He put up a stat line, a lot of blocks, but he did not put up points like crazy. They are, I don't know what for me, I'm ending the process. I'm getting rid of Joel this offseason. I'm sending him somewhere else, and you build around that Maxey Edgecombe. I don't know if you can get off that Paul George contract, but yeah, you are definitely decelerating, and Paul George did not help with that by getting suspended. So shout out Paul George, by the way, my GOAT, because holy moly, he's actually not my GOAT. I just thought I'd say that. I don't know. All right, the Phoenix Suns, punchless. Woo! The Suns were fun in the beginning of the year, and now they have the injury bug. Devin Booker has a hip strain. Dylan Brooks, I don't know how long he's going to be out, but he has a broken hand. I'm assuming for a good amount here, for a little bit here. 5 of their 8 lowest scoring outputs have occurred since February 1st. It's more than a little surprising. This number isn't even higher. During this stretch, the Phoenix Suns have a 107.7 defensive rating, which ranks 28th overall, ahead of only the Tanktastic. Why do they use big words in these? Bulls and Nets. I mean, yeah. They lost their heart and soul in Dylan Brooks, and they lost their 1A option. But 2 of their top scorers in these 2 guys, and now they're both not there. They're both hurt. So, yeah, you're gonna suck. The next one, the Portland Trailblazers. Woo! They have done miracles. Sadly, that Scoot just doesn't feel like he's in the league anymore because he's been hurt all year. But woo-wee. This team is fun. What else? Okay, if Portland wants to lock up play-in berth, they have to do something. Opportunity is clearly knocking. No team closes with a softer schedule, and things may be even more advantageous than they appear with the Nuggets. Spurs are in playoff mode by the final week of the regular season. I mean, this team's great. I mean, they're missing multiple guys. Danny Avdia, lower back. Shannon Sharp, stretch reaction in his left fibula, which I actually didn't know. I haven't really watched that much Trailblazers basketball, if I'm being honest. But yeah, they get Dame back next year. If they wanted, they could get frisky and they could go trade for Giannis. Don't know why they would do that. Like, the Dame Giannis thing didn't work. But apparently Dame was recruiting him behind the scenes before the deadline. They have a ton of picks. They have Drew Holiday, who Giannis really wants to play with again. They have some young pieces. Obviously, Scoot Henderson's one of them. And I mean, Deni Avdija is on a steal of a contract. I want to say he has to get re-signed soon to a like $30-40 million deal, but they have some very, very fun pieces that you could low-key have a championship contender with if they so choose to do that. The Kings, dumpster fire. I disagree with unwatch. Well, they are unwatchable, so I slightly agree, but whoo, that team is horrible. There's definitely gonna be some stuff here with Sacramento happening. I don't even want to read all this. They're not even like worth the time. They're just bad. Keegan Murray, I don't know the last time he played was, but he's been hurt all year. This guy, don't even know his name, can't coach. DeMar DeRozan has played 62 games and he's averaging like 19.8 points. I saw that on Peacock tonight when I shut off the game because I didn't want to watch Kings versus, was it Warriors? I don't even know. It's just bad. They're bad. They've completely botched any hope. I don't know the last time they lit the beam was. I want to say it was 2 weeks ago. Get rid of that, and they're just, ownership's bad. That's really it. The Spurs, I disagree with humbled. They have not, they got humbled by the Knicks, but as Spurs fans very well reminded me, well, it's the end of a road trip that we've been on, and it was off a back-to-back. So I don't know, and they're also banged up. So I don't know how much they've really been humbled. I would say this team is ahead of schedule. I don't think anyone expected this is Vic's third year, that they would possibly be a title contending team and they would have a super young squad and be second in the West and possibly could be first by the end of the year, depending how OKC and that whole injury thing pans out. So I would say ahead of schedule. I disagree with this. It's the only thing is shooting, but this alien makes up for it. So I don't really know how big of a problem that is. And they've been shooting better as of late. At least they did tonight. The Toronto Raptors, developing. This is admittedly not the most comfortable way to describe a rather costly core. Yeah, I agree with that. When so much of this roster is either entering or still is approaching its prime, it's not a damning description. The franchise has laid the foundation, is now waiting for the cement to dry. There's some identity hallmarks, disruption, length, relentlessness. There's also unanswered questions regarding whether there's enough scoring and space to win in a playoff series. Toronto is pretty clearly good, but it can be better. As long as the club is progressing and not plateauing, it's possible to have hope. I agree. I just hope the front office doesn't do anything stupid this offseason, which they could. They could go out and trade for Giannis and completely just have no floor spacing whatsoever. I also don't know if Scotty Barnes is that 1A guy in a franchise anymore. I truly don't know. Brandon Ingram, in my opinion, has outperformed Scotty Barnes all year in terms of scoring. And a little, honestly, slightly defensively, too. Scotty just hasn't taken the jump that I thought he was going to take. So, I don't know. As long as they're going to probably get eliminated first round of the playoffs this year. I want to say they're 5th or 6th in the East. So, I don't know. I don't think they're going to go far. I just wonder what the front office is going to do. They need shooting. They need shooting so badly. There is no space on the floor. They got to get off the Jakob Poeltl contract. So it's interesting. I don't know what's going to happen with this team. As long as the front office doesn't do anything stupid, they can continue to develop and maybe cut some costs, because they're a little bit of an expensive team to be just meh, in my opinion. The Utah Jazz, vacationing. Yeah, I agree with this. The Jazz are basically under investigation for tanking. For some reason, OKC brought that up when they literally had Al Horford sit out because he was old, and they had Shea sit out in the beginning of his career because they just didn't injury management, because they didn't want to win games. So, yeah, they are definitely on vacation. It'll be interesting to see what the Jazz look like next year. Keontae George, I mean, he had a game, I think it was 2 nights ago, where, it's like, all right, he can be that guard on a contending team. I think they're still like one piece away. I know they got Jaren Jackson Jr., but I think they're still like one piece away. I think they're close. Washington Wizards. Shrug. I mean, wait. I named the wrong player, by the way, for the Jazz. Just see. Wait, who? It's a George, though. Hang on. I have to look up who's the Jazz's point. All right, I'm an idiot. It is a George. It's Keontae George. I said Keyshawn George. My fault. I mean, yeah, that was just stupid of me. We're just gonna fix this live. There we go. I agree with this. They're just a shrug for me. The big picture feels so confusing. I like what they did, which is weird to say. I like what Utah and Washington did. In terms of this, right? I think there's gonna be I think they're gonna change how the draft lottery works this year. I think both those teams knew. I think they're smaller market teams, so this is the last year where they feel like they really can get like a top pick before there's gonna be massive changes, like I said. So trading for Trae Young and trading for Anthony Davis with an Alex Sarr, and then Keyshawn George is in the most improved player race. Trey Johnson is shredding the Nets. He's 7 of 14 from 3 in his 7 of 14 from 3. Oh wait, that does. Why? Okay, whoever wrote this worded this like some of these things so weird. So yeah, it's interesting how Washington's doing things, but I agree with it because they're not going to be able to just go out and get guys in free agency. They're going to have to go trade for guys. Now, whether or not they keep Anthony Davis is a whole other question, but they definitely are trying to get a top pick this year, put one more guy in that young core, whether that's an AJ DeBonza or Cam Boozer, and go from there. And I think that's the same thing Utah's trying to do. So we'll see what happens. I definitely think they could be in the play-in next year. But shout out to Bleacher Report. Whoever wrote this, thank you for making me look like a complete idiot. And there was a word. Shout out Zach Buckley. I will say, if you made it to this far, we are going, if Jason Tatum is playing on Friday, so it's Wednesday when you guys are seeing this, that is in 2 days. If Jason Tatum, tomorrow at 4 p.m., is on the injury report, he is probable, we will be live streaming the Celtics game on Friday. Sadly, cannot show the game, but on the other hand, what we're going to try to do for the rest of the season, and I don't know if it's going to happen next week, so it might start after next week, is we're going to either have a video or a stream every single week for the rest of the season through the playoffs. So something to do with the NBA, a long-form video. There's obviously the short-form content I upload every single day. If you guys did enjoy this one, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Whoever just subscribed, I'm going to shout you out. Starbeam Sora, shout out to you. Just literally subscribed 7 minutes ago. I was recording this. So shout out to you. I will see you guys hopefully on Friday when Jason Tatum makes his epic return from an Achilles injury. Peace.